Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rekak Dash. Now, when you're talking about these lands that is called by the names of the heathens, you got to know who you're talking about, because the slave master that was naming all of these lands, they are a specific people. Now, when you go to Psalms chapter 49, verse 11, it says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name. Okay, and the key part I want to get out of that is their lands. They call their lands after their own name. Okay, so when you go to Isaiah, it brings up another obvious issue. Isaiah chapter 14. They call their lands after their own name. 14:21, it say, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, here it is, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Because these individuals, they have filled the face of the world with their cities. You see, they grab these so-called slaves, took some to Europe, took some to so-called North America. They named America after Vespucci, I think Americo Vespucci, who discovered Rio Janeiro over in Brazil. They named it after him. He was an Italian navigator. Then you got Africa. They named that after Africanus, and Africanus was made famous by another guy who wrote a poet about Africa. He named the poem Salakia. He named the poem Africa. And so once he named the poem Africa in honor of Africanus, that's why they named the land Africa. But you see, Italian navigator, that's Italy, Rome, Romans. This Africanus was a Roman general. You see? So these are they was called themselves Romans, calling themselves Romans, Salakia. Now, we talking about lands. They named the lands after their own name, and they went around the world, rose up, and made all the lands their possession. They filled the face of the world with their cities. Okay, so when you're talking about land and the cities of this particular people, you're going to have to deal with who is these people. You see? And let's see here. Let's identify who these people specifically are first. Yeah, let's identify who the people who did all of these things. Now, when you go to Lamentations, it identifies the people that took over these lands and why. What was the purpose of them taking over these lands? What was it all about? When you go to Lamentations chapter 4 verse 21, it say, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. So the daughter of Edom dwelled in the land of Uz, When we gonna jump down to verse 22, it say the punishment of your iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. So the Israelites was being punished, and the Edomites was being blessed, because it said rejoice and be glad. God was blessing them while he was punishing the Israelites. But then he told them, he said he will no more, meaning the Edomites, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit the iniquity of, O daughter of Edom, he will discover thy sin. So he was going to punish Edom after he punished Israel. And he was going to do it in the same way. Just want to throw that in. But let's see this in the land of Uz. In the land of Uz, he said, the Edom dwelleth in the land of Uz. Okay, we going to Job chapter 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. So Job was in the land of Uz. Now let's see what Job said. Let's see what Job said. And we're going to take that and add that to what King David said. Let's see what Job said in chapter 10, verse 21 and 22. Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. 22. A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. So this land that he's in, Job, he's in the land of Uz, the land where the daughter of Edom dwelleth, the children of Esau, where they dwell. You see, that's why in the same land in 9:24 he said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Because the land that Job was in, the earth, that was the earth, pretty much. So you can say the land is given into the hand of the wicked. The land was the land of Edom. It was their land. It was given to them. It was a blessing from the Most High. It was given to them. And so they are the wicked. So that goes along with Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, that the Edom would be the border of wickedness. Now that adds on to the Edom situation. Now let's add in chapter 12 verse 22. He discovers deep things out of darkness, and bringeth out to light the shadow of death. So let's see this shadow of death again, because I'm bringing out the shadow of death. I'm bringing it to the light. That is the land of the Edomites. Psalms 23 verse 4. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod of thy staff, thy comfort me. So King David was saying that he walking through the shadow of death. Now also, this is the kingdom of the Edomites. This is their time to rule. So the shadow of death is two things. It's the land of Edom, and it's the kingdom of Edom, the rulership of Edom. You see, the blessing of Edom. And so when you look at the situation, King David was referring to the Edomites when he said, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, the land of the shadow of death. The valley is in the land. Now, let's get Isaiah once again, because it said that land of the shadow of death was a land of darkness. A land of darkness. So you're going to see that this is a rulership that it's talking about when you go in here in Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60 verse 2, it say, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. You see, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, the Edomites, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise unto thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. You see, so the earth was covered with darkness because the Edomites was in rulership. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked because the Edomites is in rulership. They called their lands that they filled the face of the world with by their own names, and darkness is as light to these individuals. Darkness is the light to these individuals. You see, they totally opposite of what Yahweh brings. And so that's why everything is without order. When you go to Isaiah 57 verse 21, it say let's go verse 20. Isaiah 57 verse 20, it say, but the wicked are like the troublesome sea, when it cannot rest. Those waters cast up mire and dirt. There is no peace, said my God, to the wicked. You see, because they are the land of darkness. They are as death, as Habakkuk 2 say, and they are the wicked, and they don't have any order. See, the land of darkness is without order, and that goes with 1 Corinthians chapter 14. You got two verses in chapter 14. 33 say, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, and as in all churches of the saints. And one translation say, God is a God of peace, not of disorder. So the land of Edom is without order. It's confusion. Babylon. That's why Edom represents Babylon. When you go to 1 Corinthians 14 and 40, it says, let all things be done decently and in order. All things must be done in order, but in the land of Edom, in the valley of the shadow of death, the land of darkness, and they have covered the whole earth in darkness due to their rulership being all over the earth, kind of like on Lion King, when the Scar took over, the whole land went into darkness. And so that's how it is with Esau. He was the wicked brother, and when he is in rulership, everything is in darkness. Now, when Simba was in rulership, or Musafa was in rulership, everything was light and beautiful and thriving. But when Scar became a ruler, everything went into darkness. And that's the same way with Esau. Everything is in disorder. And these Edomites, everything is in disorder. So all of the Israelites, the house of David, especially the elect, they was going to have to walk through the valley of the land of the shadow of death, the land of darkness, the land of the Edomites, the rulership of the Edomites. You see? And so that's what it's all about. The punishment of the Israelites, that they was going to have to walk, according to Lamentations, they was going to have to walk through the land of the Edomites, the wicked, the land of disorder, the land of confusion, Babylon the Great. You see? Great confusion. And so they was going to have to walk in these lands, being the children of light, the light of the world. You see? The darkness of the world is the Edomites. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. The kingdom is at hand. Shalom.